Hey, I see a old friend here with us. Ben, it's good to see you back. How are you? Hope things are going well. I don't know if I've seen you since the holidays. Hopefully your holidays were nice. Still got some folks coming in here. All right. Welcome everybody. Just getting things going here on YouTube, getting everything here on Zoom. It's good to see everybody. Sorry about getting started a little bit late here. And let's get started. This is me. Probably know me. I've been around for a little while. This is the CFTC disclaimer. Most importantly, everything we do here is for educational purposes only. This is an account that belongs to me. I'm not going to be making the calls. You guys are. But again, this is for education. We know that there's substantial risk in trading. We should only be using capital that we can afford to risk. That's risk capital. One of the things we like about Top Step, succeed in the trading combine, you will have the opportunity to trade with our risk capital. One of the beautiful things. Of course, there's no expectation for good or poor performance here. Hypothetical or simulated performance results do have certain limitations. A random sim account has no accountabilities, no rules, and no consequences. The trading combine puts you in a place where you do have a little bit of skin in the game and some rules and consequences. That's why we believe that it does help improve the trading of people that are in the trading combine and hopefully getting them funded and seeing them succeed. That's our goal here. The rules for Make HOAG Money are, as always, kindness and respect are expected above everything. There's always differences of opinion in markets. We we know that that's what makes these markets so good and so viable. I'm going to have a couple of people, if they would like to chat today, please let me know by either raising your hand or letting me know in the chat in Zoom. We're all going to be involved in these decisions, and context of your trades is going to be helpful if you are moved to a panelist role. You will be able to show your charts, which should help with context. We're going to use the chat rooms to discuss trades on YouTube as well as in the Zoom meeting. I try and keep as much on that as I can on both of them. We're going to be focusing on the micros in the e-minis, at least for now. We're not going to be trading just to trade. We're not taking losing trades, which is, of course, a joke. We all know that losing trades are part of trading. We have to accept them, cut them, and move on. For feedback on Make Hope Money is, of course, always appreciated. If you have feedback of a way we can improve this, please let me know at jhoagland at topstep.com. JHOAGLAND, Hoagland at topstep.com. Jhoagland at topstep.com. So let's get started here. Here's the platform. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to get done here today. We've got the markets already directional to the downside today. Pretty decent move to the downside. We could have seen it coming. We should have seen it coming. At least I should have. But did I catch it? I did not. But at least I did not beat myself up trying to pick the bottom. And we're getting, pretty late in the day here. The market has driven pretty considerably lower. It is seeming to be find a kind of an area of balance here, going from out of balance to an area of balance. We're near the low end of that balance. If we're starting to think about a trade down here, we should start thinking about it. The bigger context of these markets, of course, we know that we've had a pretty decent move up. We've seen that the market has been struggling to move to the upside, at least in the S&Ps. Nasdaq has done a better job on this up move, if you ask me, but the Nasdaq is down again as well today. Not as bad here as the S&Ps. We've got the Nasdaq down 0.9%, the S&P is down 1.25%, and so the Nasdaq is still holding up a little bit better than the S&Ps. What are we doing? What are we doing? I got a couple of folks saying hello here. Zach, Bill, JM, Zach again. We got Laura McCladden here with us. Hello, Laura. And Rooster, I am sorry that happened today. It was a tough trading day. I didn't catch it. I kind of watched a lot of this and wasn't feeling the opportunity to try and get into this move to the short side. So I just tried to stay hands off of pretty much the better part of the day today. Nas Tick, good afternoon. Anthony Bell, so angry at yourself. Made step 2 profit target goal and then accidentally had an order in to buy a dip, forgot to cancel, and the market flushed. Good thing I didn't break any rules. Okay, Anthony, the next time you see that, I don't know what your P&L was like. You said it was up 1,500 on the day and you ended up down 500. Was it there when you saw that you had the problem? Anytime you have something like that happen, the best thing to do is get out right away. If you just saw that you were in a position and said, well, maybe this is going to work out, that's a bad thing. That's a bad idea. Even if it does go your way, you know, you're kind of ingraining bad habits with you. So sorry that happened. And again, it's a good thing you didn't have a rule violation. Take your time. You will get back and you will profit, hit that target in step 2 again, and you will get funded. Just take your time. Let go of that venom first. Venom never helps anybody. Okay, Captain Price. Hello, Les. Yeah. If a candle is red after 4 hours, it's not a great long, right? Anthony Bell, yeah, definitely an easy day. Just had an error in my platform. Made all my money from the upside. Couldn't buy that dip, right? LOL. Getting short at the bottom, right? It's hard. It is hard. Now, we just had an opportunity here at the low of the session here, a relatively cheap opportunity at that. You know, our low of the day is 39.56, 56.50. You know, we traded down to 58 and a quarter. That's pretty cheap. We're showing signs of two-sided trade here. That would have been a decent possible opportunity for a cheap long. But we were gabbing, and we another thing that I missed today. Mike, an interesting day for sure. So I was talking in group coaching today, and you know, the fact that I missed today had me looking very deeply into what it was that I missed that could have gave me a better opportunity. I had a couple of hypotheses today. Neither of them really worked out. What would I have noticed? Yesterday we had the coach's playbook where we talked about being open to information that's contrary to what we think and what we see in the markets. And today I did the very thing we talked about yesterday, and I did not open my mind and my creativity and my heart to the situation that was at hand here this morning. We can take a look at that as we go through Make HOAG Money, but we're going to see if we can't find... See, that's it, Joe. We saw the overnight rejection. The market moved very fast and could not enter. What is the best way to participate in today's trade on the short side? Well, you saw that we could not maintain price over the overnight high. You probably, of course, also saw that we could not reach yesterday's high in the regular trading hours session. So the thing to do, would have been looking to sell pullbacks against areas where you can manage the risk. It did come off relatively quickly, so it didn't really give us a lot of opportunity there. As far as for me to say what the best way to participate on the short side today is, A lot of it depends on the things you're looking at. It depends on the the tools you're using. I can tell you what I thought, what I missed today, which I was planning on doing. We don't have any victims that would like to chat today. If not, that's okay, and I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. So let me do this. We kind of missed our opportunity at the low here. Now, would I be picking this low if we didn't already see that the market has found an area of two-sided trade? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This market just gave us reference in two-sided trade and an extreme to look for a cheap opportunity. We had that opportunity while I was gabbing. Why the market moved this much lower? Was it the economic numbers this morning? I don't necessarily think so. I mean, it's the market. The numbers this morning, I think, were telling us that what the Fed is doing is working. It's slowing things down. The housing market index, which actually came out, is the only number that was green this morning of the economic numbers. Was that enough? I mean, it's not a high impact number. So I'm not seeing anything necessarily in the numbers that would have created this pullback, unless, of course, we were way too long up there, but I'm not necessarily seeing that. Although it is likely, because we were saying the last couple of days on the daily chart that we had some difficulty in continuing this move to the upside in the S&Ps. Excuse me, I apologize. So was it one of the talking feds? Was it something that they said? This was already underway when Meester started speaking, saying that rates should rise a little bit above 5 to 5.25% range projected by policymakers by the end of 2023. Bullard said the Fed should move as quickly as possible to reach 5% and then react to data. So there wasn't anything really that shocking to the market to create that. But let's look at what I missed. We've been wrestling with last week's high for the last 3 sessions. It has been rejected now every time. Looking at the way the market has been acting, it's been slowing as far as momentum is concerned. We talked about that a couple of days ago on the prep. We talked about that yesterday on the prep. Should it be a surprise that we're seeing at the very least a consolidation, if not a pullback? I don't think that that's out of the ordinary. I don't think that this is necessarily all that bad, depending, of course, on how it closes. We're right in the middle of last week's range. Last week we put in a higher range. We're right in the middle of it. What about the 30-minute chart? What about that? What could I have missed? Let's see. Sunday night, we put in a new recent high in the overnight. We talked about that on Monday. We talked about that on Tuesday, that this overnight recent high was probably not going to hold, which it did not yesterday, but again was swiftly rejected below last week's high. 1 rejection of last week's high, 2 rejection of last week's high, another rejection of last week's high. Last night, 7:30, the number comes out. We knee-jerk. We put in the overnight high. The market has overnight inventory to the long side. The market looks above the overnight session and fails. Can't get to the previous day's regular trading hours session. Fail. Harker is speaking now. And I support moving to 25 basis point interest rate hikes. Inflation will reach the Fed's 2% target by 2025. I expect inflation to moderate to 3.5% this year. These are current quotes from Fed member Harker. I expect the Fed to raise rates a few more times this year. What is that doing to us? Pushing us closer back down to the low. Expecting the U.S. economy to grow by 1% this year and to avoid a recession. Well, that's good news. So even with the opening range initially being the high of this, the low of the session, we came in and we traded to a point of control from, if you combine Monday and Tuesday, the point of control was basically the low of a period. So you took a long on the opening range trade, you had an opportunity to take that trade at that combined point of control from Monday and Tuesday, which put in the low of a period. Okay, B period looks higher, so already the market has put in a higher low, and a higher high. It looks as though the market is going to try and attempt to accept above last week's high. It doesn't. The heck do we do now? Well, the first thing we have to do, I guess, is stop trying to buy it. It's failed on its attempt to continue above last week's high. Now, as far as trying to get into that, the only thing that I can suggest, and you'd have to be pretty quick, okay, this includes last night's activity. This is last night's profile. 5 p.m. to 8:29. The market opens, leaves the opening range, the high of the session. Doesn't get up there. Comes back down, trades to that combined point of control. It was kind of a goofy level. Then trades higher. Takes out the high of yesterday, of the overnight, and is unable to hold there. If you're fast, if you're quick, maybe you would have been able to say, hey, we just failed above the high, the overnight high. That gives you the opportunity. Number one, what was it? C period came up here. B period came up here. That gives you the opportunity to use the difference between the overnight high and the current high as your risk. Market comes up, looks above the overnight high. Can't trade at this time to yesterday's high. If we come back in and we take the short, let's just say we sell it at 31, 40.31. Well, our risk is, let's call it 4 points. I can handle that. Even if we want to move our risk above yesterday's high, you know, we're selling, what did I say, 31 to 36, 5 points of risk. Can I handle that? I think so. Oh, Avon calling. Every day is like Christmas here. Always people dropping stuff off. It's okay, Lacey. It's okay, girl. It's okay. He's a friend. It's okay. All right. So there's where I lost my ability to take information that was contrary to what I thought, which was exactly what we talked about yesterday in the coach's playbook. I'm a human being. Aren't we all? So now We're stuck trying to figure out what to do here. Oh, we just maybe had another opportunity down there, it looks like. So I'm going to, if nobody has any suggestions for a possible opportunity for us here today, well, let's see if we get another opportunity near the day session low to look for a long. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but we're going to vote on it. Let me know. I mean, it's got to be cheap. How about you guys watching on YouTube? Say yes or no. I know you don't usually get to vote. Not me. I'm a rooster. Suggestion: avoid longs. Sebastian, no, no. Sell it. It feels like they want to keep selling to 55. We got a Jason, yes. We got half the folks in the Zoom meeting saying 75% yes. Sebastian says sell it. If I sell it, where's my risk? Now, I think that's what I'm thinking more of is not necessarily falling in love with a long. So we see here on this studio, it looks like you guys are way behind the visual. Do me a favor. After I say a word, somebody type it in so I know how long this delay is. The word is now. I was talking to the folks on YouTube. Okay, so there's no way that the lag is as bad as it looks. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. So you can see we've got 75% saying yes, and we've got maybe about a mixed idea here in the YouTube side. So we're going to place an order. We're going to see if we can't get 39.50. And our stop is going to be 39.55. 6 ticks through the low. Let's see if we can get filled here. Maybe being too cheap here, but the opposite of a late spike. Well, the late spike rooster actually goes both ways here. If we do spike lower and close low, that would be a late spike to the downside. But we could call it a late dump if you want to. Yeah. We'll see if we get filled here. So my friend James on the Zoom meeting is saying he thinks a long will at least get to 73. 73. Let's see if we can get a fill. We're going to start watching for MOCs. I hope everybody is going to come to the session with Jared Tendler. I'm going to put the link in. If you have not registered, you can still register and come see it. Still not filled, are we here? It looks like I'm frozen. There we go. Okay, here is the registration link. Put it in YouTube. And I'm going to put it in the Zoom chat. There it is. It's going to be 15 minutes after the end of Make HOAG Money, which, if we make it to 3 o'clock, the session with Jared Tendler starts at 3:15. Our offer to buy is at $39.59.50. Maybe a little too cheap, perhaps. But that's all right. It won't be the best trade that I missed today. Oh, I forgot about this. Hey, what do you guys think of this? And YouTube, you can see me down in the little corner now. Hello. I'm gone. Learning how to use this production software. Captain Price, you don't have to do anything. This was just a suggestion that we voted on, and we're going to see what happens. The lag was 20 to 30 seconds. Thanks, Bear Goes Long. It seems longer than usual. I thought it was about 10 seconds, but... Uh-oh, we're in. Yeah, a little bit of a bear flag there, isn't there? I pulled myself out of the screen there. Nobody needs to see me that much. I've always been told I had a great face for radio. Let's see if we start seeing MOCs coming through. Now we are in the M bracket. What do you think? If we take out the low, do we go with it? That would be cannonballing. Not very often, Bear Goes Long. Not very often. I'm not making fun of your last name, Cannon. It's funny. Well, I just moved our stop a little bit closer. Not that I'm worried about the money. I just want to see if we get some on the downside here. We're seeing early MOC imbalance of 509 million to the sell side. I think we're in a little bit of trouble for longs here. Lately, it seems that that is the case. Because we've had a lot of late spikes lately. So we just took out the low by 2 ticks. And it's just laying here. All right, so here's to try the breakout. We're out. Time stopped. We lost about 2 on that. Try it again. Time stop. Going our way. Place to stop. So we just took a short here at 39.55 on the range extension. See if the range extension comes. We lost 2 ticks trying to get into it to begin with. We're risking about 2 or 3 ticks now. If it just comes and takes us out, we may be smart just to call it a day. I don't know. We'll see. So maybe a failed breakout. I don't like breakout trades or range extension trades to get into my pockets much. We could be putting in a late spike lower here, ladies and gentlemen. At least we're holding in profit here. Harker says the December PPI data is another sign prices are cooling. Hadn't thought of profit target. Maybe MOC. Now that I said that, watch, we'll get stopped out. I almost want to bring that stop up a little bit here. 56.75. That takes us back into the previous range. Oh, we'll see. And what is a reasonable profit target? Here's our gap. The gap close is to, let's see here, 39.28. Point of control's down to 39.20. I'm not expecting that kind of a move here, but being shorter would be nice. We're hanging tough here. This thing closes on its patoot. It's not going to look real good. No, we did not buy the royalties for trading places. That's funny. Anthony went long from the day's low. Should be easy risk there, easy risk management. Well, we're just going to chill here and see what happens. Yeah, the famous trend line won the battle today. Yeah, you got that right. Couldn't hold above. Anthony stopped out even. That's good. Yeah, we just keep leaking lower here, don't we? Looking more like we're going to put in this late spike lower, or as we affectionately call it, a late dump. Here comes the gap. To another early MOC imbalance, 509 million to the sell side. Does the dome tell you anything at this point? Yeah, it's kind of robust. It's getting more and more robust as we get closer to the end of the day, in my opinion. Okay? In my opinion, a robust dome at this level in this situation indicates continuation before any kind of turnaround. And it's basically doing what it does. I mean, the sag is putting in new lows. The lift is stopping short of the previous lift. It's just continuing to, in very short time frame, one time frame lower. This is an overnight point of control down here. Which is relatively close to our gap close. So I'm going 44 just to put in a potential target for this. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we are in the gap now. Caesar likes to stop to 51. I'd pretty much be sure we'll get out there. Do we do that? Do we fish or cut bait? The pole is up. Fish. Fish. Everybody wants fish. All right. Well, we'll have some walleye. Here's the results. What I don't really want to do is lose money on it. Oops. That's not what I was looking for. More sell imbalances. We'll do what Bear Goes Long says. We'll just take the risk off it and see what happens. If it does get back up there, I'm not going to like it anymore anyways. We got just a few more minutes before the real order imbalances come in. We'll see what happens. Ah, Steven saw me in Florida, did you? I'm kind of off in the back there a little bit, huh? Yeah, it was a sad movie. Here we go. Yeah, I knew Reba. He was unbelievable trader, but a maniac. Yep. He had this Lincoln Park house, and he had like a recording studio, like a music studio, in one of the levels of it. And I played the drums. He always wanted me to come play the drums, and but I knew what went on there, and I never would go. Too much of a rock star for me. Steve, did you work on the floor? Huh. So you've had this in your blood since you were a little kid. Sebastian, take the risk out and fish. We're on it. We are on it. You got some liquidity down here at 46. Let's see if we get any more. Imbalances here. We got 10 seconds. Let's see what happens here. Liquidity at 45. $2.5 billion to the sell side. Got a little pop here. Interesting. Gonna move this up a little bit, see if we can get a fill and get out of here. I think we're done. Hey, we made $1.25. That may have just been foolish, but I gotta get ready for the Tendler session here at 3:15. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you all are. So we had one loss, two losers and one win, and we're up a little bit. I'm all right with that. Thought we ran out of gas to the downside there. Well, tomorrow is another day. JM, yeah, good. I'm glad. We're going to be doing a lot more. We're going to have Anne Marie back on soon. Jared's going to be here every once a month, and lots more good stuff coming at you. I hope everybody enjoys it and gets a lot out of it. I am going to call this a Make HOAG Money. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the ideas. Thanks for the help. Thanks for everything. And we will see you at the session with Jared Tendler. Have a great rest of the day. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the market prep. Have a great day, everyone.